I'm looking quickly here at what's a conclusion. For two reasons. One, so that when you're doing your reading, you can identify what is successful about a particular conclusion. And secondly, so you can come up with some ideas for writing really good conclusions yourself. So, conclusions end with a summing up, which you all know, but in your reading you have to explain what ideas are being summed up. And quite often a call to action. What should the reader do now? So if we think back to the Meghan and Harry article, this is the conclusion. It seems that much of Britain desperately wants to be absolved its racist history without doing any work to combat racism, treating marginalisation and discrimination like imagined annoyances not worth confronting. But looking at the fate of the royal couple that was supposed to symbolise progression and a supposedly post-racial British society, it seems clear there is still much work to be done. So her first idea is that Britain is more racist than we realise, and that's really what the whole article is about. So the top sentence links back to that. The second sentence links to her second idea that the media treatment of Meghan is a good example of how Britain is more racist than we realise. And finally, we've got the call to action, rather a vague call to action, much work to be done. And something else I would really recommend that you do before answering a conclusion question is look back to the introduction. If you look at the conclusion, it mentions looking at the fate of a royal couple. If we look at the introduction, what do we see? It's the stuff rom-coms are made of. Beautiful young woman meets charming prince, and after a series of mild miscommunications, they live happily ever after. That's how it's supposed to go. Meghan Markle has gone off script and attempted to create a different happy ending. So the idea of fate, happy ending, happily ever after, royal couple, mentions Meghan Markle, we can work out Prince Harry for ourselves. So, in conclusions do the following things. They sum up ideas. Remember to say what ideas. In a memorable way. How? Look for word choice, for questions, for imagery, which means metaphors and similes. Secondly, they may return to the beginning. They'll go back to the idea they used to catch your attention in the introduction. And finally, they will include often a call to action. What should the reader do now, assuming they have been persuaded by the writing?